alt styles have been one of the worst additions to Duel Links ever. These cosmetics were added to the game back in January 2025 during the event where Flame appeared and teamed up with Soulburner, creating the first alt style, Soulburner and Flame. The game had a history of creating second or even third versions of existing characters, as was the case with Jade and Yuki. Plot Burner with Flame was the first instance of an alternate style where the new version of the character was simply a skin. In this first case, I think is okay, since Plot Burner is practically the same character from the beginning to the end of the story, and Flame as an accessory doesn't make much difference to how he acts and feels. On the other hand, in the case of Schmade and Schmucky, he does present notable differences in personality and or design compared to his Jaden Yubel and Supreme King variants. All the alt styles have been simple Photoshop edits on the same character. Soulburner with a flame PNG, Yugi without his jacket, Kaiba with a purple coat, Mokuba with a dress edit. Other than that, the characters are the same. Same poses, same lines, sometimes a few new lines at the beginning and end of the duel. Yugi and Kiryu are the exceptions, having new victory poses, but they feel very meh compared to separate versions of the same character. Just look at the existing edgy Kaylin. Carly and Emo Carly are another great example of how different versions of characters offer much more than alt styles. Both are the same person in the story with very distinct personalities due to circumstances. They truly feel unique when used, and each has their own biography, their own unique voice lines, interactions, and poses. And here lies the problem. Something that bothers me a lot is that the community keeps asking for character versions to be added as simple and boring alt styles. When someone says, "What alt style would you like to be added?" I see them repeating names like Zane Truesdale from Season 1, Gargoyle Yuma, and the case that bothers me the most in particular, Blue Gal and Blue Maiden, or even the whole Vrains cast in their real life versions without avatars. I wish people would understand the differences between alt styles and separate versions of same characters. For example, Zane Truesdale in Season 1 has a completely different personality from his edgy version that we have available right now. Blue Gal and Blue Maiden act, speak, and pose completely differently from Blue Angel, so it would be strange if they were treated as mere alt styles. Ironically, they would feel out of character. And let's not even talk about our avatar-less versions. I would never do Blue Angel's poses and her cute voice tone outside of the internet. Yusaku hides his identity, so he couldn't be claiming to be Playmaker. Takeru is a uwu boy in real life, while online he's the protagonist of a fighting shonen anime. But my problem isn't just that. The alt styles, besides being lazy, they also are an excuse for Konami to not add new content. Konami-kun has been releasing several, and these take up long periods of time each month, practically stealing the opportunity to receive new characters or different versions of existing characters. A second version of Satisfaction Yusei would have been much more interesting than his current alt style, which just makes him act tough sometimes. The most recent case is Varys, who received an alt style with his design from the first story arc and a total of 0 new voice lines. Wow, simply wow. No mamen. Furthermore, the events in Vrains used to be entirely new stories for the Duel Links lore, until now. The Revolva skin unlock is one of those incredibly boring events that just recaps moments from the anime with dialogue and screenshots. It's worth remembering that new versions of the same character offer many more rewards since they have level up bars and provide significantly more benefits. Alt styles give us a couple of gems and call it a day. They only shine when they come with a broken skill. I do think alt styles are necessary, as was the case with the first one, Soulburner and Flame, since there wasn't enough material to create a second version of that character, unless they add Theodore as a playable character. But in general, I don't like how abundant they are now, much less the fact that people ask for character versions to be degraded being called alt styles. And well, that's it.
Bye bye! Stay blue!